It's very similar to a list that Jeff Hoogland put. Whew, excuse me, that Jeff Hoogland put up a few days ago. It's originally where I got the idea. I like the idea of him playing Chandra's on the top end, so I left it in there. It seemed pretty solid. Sideboard's 3 Grafdigger's Cage, 3 Devout Decree, 2 Hushbringers, 2 Shredded Cells, 2 Forsake the Worldly, a Deafening Clarion, another Chandra, and a Storm's Wrath. The sweepers are for elves and other creature decks that just kind of get out of hand. Grafdigger's Cage is for Witch's Oven and the Cat combo. Devout Decree is for like Rakdos Arcanus or anything really good. Hushbringer is also for the Hushbringer is for the Angels matchup. Also good against the Cat deck. Whatever it's called, Mayhem Devil deck. Shredded Cells is really good against anything that's flying or artifacts. Also cycles. Forsake the Worldly cycles, and it also deals with artifacts and enchantments. And Chandra is just kind of like a way to get at control. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in here. Traditional, historic, rank, Boros, cycling, historic. I don't really know where I'm at on the ladder right now. So, hey, Philip J. Frylock, that's a play off of Futurama. We'll try this. We don't have a white source, but the one thing I really like about this deck in Historic is that they gave us the like Forgotten Cave, Secluded Step cycle. So being able to cycle half like part of your lands is like really good. And Flamblade Adept is also a really good addition to this deck. Um, it's just a really solid card. It just feels like it gives you some more like aggressive staying power. We're gonna play the Flameblade Adept, and then we'll cycle the Forgotten Cave here at the end of the turn. I guess we could have cycled it first to see if we found a white land. Drawing a white land there wouldn't have really done us any good, though. They're gonna Thoughtseize us. I imagine they'll take the Valiant Rescuer, if I had to guess. Yep. Huh, a puppet. That's interesting. Kind of creepy, but interesting. Alright, double removal spell here. Cycle to see what we hit. We hit a cast out. We really need to hit a white source here. We're going to cycle Footfall Crater. Cycle Drannith Healer. We do find a land. I guess we'll play it. We can still cycle. We can cycle almost all the cards in our hand. We can't cycle Cast Out because it actually costs white to cycle. Play this. Cycle this. Hopefully we get a white source here. That is a really good draw step. What does this thing do? Whenever a permanent an opponent controls from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on this. Stormware, remove all counters from it. If you do, exile each other. We're going to cycle this. Draw a Secluded Step. Okay. So this is some kind of Jund mid-range deck. They're going to take our cast out here, which is fine. We'd really like to draw a... I forget what it's called. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with words today. What is that card called? The 4-mana card. I don't know, the Massive Lightning Helix was cycling. We'd really like to draw that card, so... Okay. Let's say drew a green source here. I would have eaten something and played the giant, unless you're going to play some. I'll play Chandra. Okay, seems pretty good. Off the top, one time deck. Huh. It's not enough to win the game, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess technically we should have held that. I mean, we had to play it there. We kind of need another Zenith Flare off the top here. Even if we draw a 1-mana cycling card, we get a redraw. Add red, red. Okay. Play Bonecrusher Giant. Play both your Bonecrusher Giants. Okay. Get in for 6. Yep. I mean, Chief called. This is it or it ain't. We have a chance to cycle into one right now. Guess we're going to keep cycling, see what we hit here. I don't really think there's anything we're looking for here, but we might as well. Doll. Okay. That was kind of rough. We didn't draw a Chandra or anything off the top in there to like really help us out. We want all our Devout Decrees. And I think we want our other Chandra just to try and help us out here. What can we cut here? They'll probably have some kind of graveyard hate with cut a Zenith Flare, cut a Gopher Blood, and couple of Draenith Healers. Healer doesn't really do a lot unless you're playing against aggro, and then you really just want to like try to gain as much life as you can with it. I like you play it because it cycles for 1 and it has alternate value. It's a body that gains life, so it's not a bad card by any means. I just think there's better things we could be doing. Yep, we'll go first here. This hand seems fine. Our opponent takes at least 1 mulligan. I think that was 2, if I'm not mistaken. Play Secluded Step here. We have a lot of 4-drops in our hand, and I know one of them cycles, but we really want to be able to play all of our stuff here. I imagine they're taking the Chandra. Chandra with the Zenith Flare here. Kind of depends on like what they have. I guess if they have an answer, they can play around the Chandra. But maybe can't beat the Zenith Flare. Other way around. Play that. Next turn, we can play our Valiant Rescuer and cycle our cast out here. If they have an answer here, that's okay. Drawing a second one makes this play really good. And we'll go ahead and cycle our Footfall Craters. Drawing another Chandra is good. We'd really like to hit an untapped land here so that we can slam our Chandra to deal with the Bonecrusher Giant they're about to play. At least I imagine they're about to play a Bonecrusher Giant. Okay, another removal spell. So we're going to attack for 1. And then we're going to wait and cycle our cast out here. I really like cast out in this deck. I feel like it adds a lot of value. Okay, we're going to add... Yep. Devout Decree is also really good. Hit a land. Attack for 1. Feels like we're in a pretty commanding position here. We have a removal spell at the ready. Hopefully they don't have a way to deal with our Chandra. They do. We're just gonna keep playing our threats out. I mean, they have to deal with them. So if not, we'll draw into more stuff. Oh, I never changed the title of the stream. Meant to do that. Boros. Cycling. Historic. And update the stream. Okay, cool. We'll start this turn again by attacking for 1 as we have done so far. We'll cycle this and see what we hit. Play the Fox. It's another threat. Zenith Flare is looking really good. Close to the rest of their life total here. Scavenging Ooze. Okay. I can actually gain a couple life here and make this 5, so we only get to go to 21. They still can't put it out of reach, though, which is good for us. We gain 5. We attack for 2. They go to 9. Essentially where they were last turn. Okay. Devout Decree. Scry. Go for blood to the top. Yeah, sure. Attack for 2. Their hand's just been really awkward. We've had 1-for-1 answers the entire game, and that's all they've been able to do is play 1 spell a turn. So it's really worked out for us. I also think they were very aggressive with their removal spells as opposed to just playing other things that could block. Also feel like it's a little late for you to be slamming your creatures. I feel like the damage has been done here. We're going to scry that to the bottom. We're going to cycle here, see what we can find. Flamebladed Adept's good. Put them to 6. We have lethal on the field and in our hand. The Zenith Flare that they don't know about is just lethal. We're not going to slow roll them. We're just going to play it. Zenith Flare is a great card. I know it has a lot of hate against it, and like it can be easily hated out, but I'm a really big fan of Zenith Flare. Yeah, I really like this. I say we bring in a Go for Blood and take out a Draenith Healer just so we could fight like a Scavenging Ooze or something if we needed to. The cycling cards actually do have text that comes up pretty often, I've learned, playing the deck over the last couple days. So, yeah, this hand's great. We're going to keep this. We're going to lead on the Flameblade Adept because everything else has cycling. Our opponent mulligans, which is good for us. They're probably leading on a Thoughtseize here. Curious to know what they take. Probably take the Valiant Rescuer if they don't have an answer for it because it just takes so many. It's just so many creatures over so many turns. And the great thing about having Forgotten Cave and Secluded Step in our hand is that they cycle. Like, that's 2-for-1 wombo combo, so. Bloodchief's Thirst here. Yep. Bloodchief's Thirst is so good. Like, that card is highly underrated in my opinion. Yeah, we'll say go. We'll cycle the Forgotten Cave here. We should have done that during our turn in case they had Heartless Act. It's like I'm okay with letting them block here. We're going to play this. We're going to play our Secluded Step here, and then we're going to do this to play around Heartless Act. I should have played the... Ugh. That's not good. Now they're really winning the race here. Really think it's better to cycle here and hope we hit a land. Run this out here. and say go. What the heck? If you do... Wow, I did not know that. It's pretty bad for us. Hopefully we're looking at Zenith Flare here. Cast out's not bad. We're going to say go and see what they do here. We're actually just going to cast out here and exile this thing. Don't really have any interest in trying to fight this. Okay. That's pretty good for us. I'm willing to take 3 to go to 7 here, actually, to see what they do. I'm actually going to say go here and see what they do, because if they thought seize us, we're just going to fire off our Zenith Flare. If they play a land and say go, we're just going to start cycling. See what we can draw into. We're going to say go here. Okay, I didn't know Thragtusk was in this format. I guess the more you know. Yep. They're at 6 now. Hopefully we start drawing into some cycling cards so we can run out our Dranith Stinger here and start cycling. I actually don't feel like unless they draw a removal spell here, they can just attack with everything. Because if they do, and if they don't have a removal spell, oh my god, of course they draw a Bone Crusher Giant. Needed you to brick 1 turn, bro. Alright. Our Devout Decree off the top's just not going to be good enough. Well, that was a close game. We're in Plat 2 on the ladder. Apparently we just got to Plat 1. Okay. Thundering Rebuke. Played that card in Standard for a minute. The lands that will be tapped to cast it become highlighted. I actually didn't know that. For what it's worth, I don't know a lot about Arena, so fair warning. Oh man, that was a good one. This hand's really good. We have a lot of good cards here. We're going to keep this lead on Pathway and the Fox here. I like the animation that Pathway has there. Ooh, what's this? Bowmite Carrier? Is this like Tempered Steel? This is definitely Tempered Steel. Okay. Play the Fox. Draenei Healer might actually be pretty good in this matchup. Not sure. I don't know what removal spells this deck plays. If it's the Mardu version, then I know it plays, yeah, no blocks. Then I know it plays Unlicensed Disintegration. Yep. So we're just going to play this and say go here. We can kind of take a little bit off to set up here just because we're going to take a little bit of time to set up here because having Draenei Healer and Draenei Stinger on the field, yep, Tempered Steel's pretty good. Didn't crack in with that. I'm surprised. We'll take 3 here. I guess they want to be able to block. Gain some life here, and then we can really go off next turn. Chandra's also a really good draw here. We're just going to stay it this way, leave it this way. Feels like we're in a pretty decent spot right here. I mean, they could have a draw. They could have a couple draws here and just kind of mess our world up. Card is pretty good. Curious to know what they're making. I imagine they're just going to make a 5/5 here. Our flourishing fox, our flourishing fox is getting to where it can play offense a little bit. So, all right, let's start going yam. Hopefully an untapped land here. We don't have to attack here because we are in a spot where we are able to block. Okay. Did Karn just say hello to my little friend? Oh my god, another tempered still? Make me cry. Bro. I'm willing to make this block because they're going to take those 5 cards there. They're not. Interesting. Puts me to 4. I've seen 17 cards in our 22 land deck and not drawn a 4th land, which is interesting. No attacks. You can have a Godless Shrine. They just get to attack for 4 in the air here and we're dead. Man. 1 mana 5/5 Tempered Steel is real dumb. Alright. So the red and the black, I imagine, has to be for like Scrap Heap or Unlicensed Disintegration. So we want Shredded Cells, we want Forsake the Worldly, we want Deafening Clarion, we want Storm's Wrath. Chandra does not seem great. Cut a couple Rescuers, cut a couple Gopher Bloods and try it that way? Sure. Why not? Really like Tempered Steel. Wish that card was good enough to be played in Modern. Really like to play like Tempered Steel aggro in Modern. Imagine if we could have 68 bullets in the online. Said imagine if we could have 68 bullets in the online. Alright, trying to figure out what our opponent's doing here. Obviously, they're like really sideboarding here. They're really getting in depth with what they should sideboard. $3.19 at 7:10. Carolina by 1.5. I'm interested to see if we actually beat them. This hand seems fine. It's not great. But it has our gain life card, has a cycler, and has a one too many lands. But yeah, no blocks. Play that. Attack for 1. Then we have two cyclers next turn. A big way to stay in this game is going to be to draw Zenith Flare. Honestly, like I know this sounds crazy, like I know like, probably what everybody says, but at just the right time. Pay 2 life, cycle Forgotten Cave, go to 15 here, attack for a bunch. Drawing another Draenith healer is really good. Like we can either play it and start gaining a bunch, like 2 life every time we cycle, or we can just start cycling and try to gain, like deal them a bunch of damage and gain a bunch of life. The Flourishing Fox kind of gets out of hand, and the multiple and having a healer and a stinger is kind of the combo. You're like draining. It's draining gain every time we cycle a card. This is probably unlicensed disintegration if I had to guess. That or tempered steel. Definitely unlicensed disintegration here. So we're gonna play another fox here. We're gonna attack with the house. He's definitely gonna play unlicensed disintegration here. If not, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, if you want to take 6 here, I'm willing to let you take 6 here. I'm not blinking here. I don't have to blink. You didn't do anything with your third turn. Wow, you really okay? You shocked and did nothing. Or no, he didn't. He played another Inspiring Vantage. I don't remember. Interesting. Really interesting to me that our opponent was willing to let all that happen that way. We gain a bunch of life, put a couple counters on there, draw a card. Cast out's really good. We're just gonna We're just gonna cast the cast out on the Stone Coil Serpent, and then get in with everybody. Yeah, he blocks. Takes 2, 4, 6, 8. So yeah, that was exactly what we needed. Enter the battlefield on a cause abilities to trigger. Yeah. I think we're just leaving it the way that it is. Shredded Cells and Forsake the World, they really help in this matchup. I still don't think Chandra's the right way to go. Chandra's a great removal spell, but paying 4 mana to remove a card when you're behind doesn't seem great, especially when they double Tempered Steel just gets out of hand. So our opponent's going to go first. This hand's really good. Makes a lot of blockers. Does a lot of good things here, and Shredded Cells really helps deal with the artifacts. And plus, our opponent's taking a mulligan, so we're definitely going to keep this. I have a hair on me. Holy God. All right. Was having a minor stroke there. All right. Our opponent starts on 6. Mountain Bowmat Courier. We're gonna play the Flameblade Adept over the Fox here. Fox like really helps get out of hand here, but the Flameblade Adept just blocks on turn 1. 1 mana, 1/2 Stonewall Jackson inbound. Triple Bowmat Courier here. Okay. We're gonna play this and say go. Hold up removal for the Flameblade Adept, we're not gonna hold up removal. We're gonna leave back the Flameblade Adept to block. Blank Moth Nexus is really good in this deck. It's also an artifact, right? Yeah. Skyclave Apparition, get our Valiant Rescuer. Hopefully they don't have shredded, or hopefully they don't have tempered steel here. Hopefully they don't have tempered steel or land Karn here. Steel Overseer's fine. We can shredded cells. the shit out of that thing. Yeah, I think doing that now is really good. All of our cards cycle the rest of the game, so I'm kind of okay with just leaving them like this. I think we'll just play this land, actually. Might as well. Yeah, I don't see a reason to attack here. Our opponent is obviously drawing into whatever they're doing here, because they haven't attacked or done anything with their Bomat carriers, which means that they really feels like they don't have a lot going on here. Kill our fox. Okay. Stone Coil Serpent. Sure. We're going to double block the Apparition here. Take our free 2/2. We have a lot of good blockers here. Unless they just peel like a tempered steel or something like that, like it, our draw's looking pretty good here. Back to back, Cabetra's takedown or whatever that card's called is pretty good. Yeah, they're just gonna take 2 free cards here. We're gonna block. They're gonna go to 18 to draw 2 cards here. Seems reasonable. At least, oh, okay. Little animation glitch. I was like, at least I thought it was 2 cards. We're just gonna start cycling. I think we're just gonna try to get busy here. What you doing, Tyrion? See how they block here. And we're gonna hold up Shredded Cells here to see what they do. Having Shredded Cells here is pretty good. Also having Zenith Flare here is awesome. We're just gonna go ahead and destroy one of those with the trigger on the stack so that they just lose a card. Yeah, I'm willing to take 2 here and go to 15. Hopefully we draw an untapped land so that we can cycle the Fox and then hit them. That's kind of the great and terrible thing about this deck, about the deck our opponent's playing, is that it revolves around them drawing Tempered Steel. And if they don't, it's really hard for them to win. I'm just going to say go. I think I'm going to get a little greedy and try to win the game with the Zenith Flare. And as many cards as we get to see, it doesn't seem that unreasonable. This is our first one. There's still 4 in the deck. Yep. Gonna activate the other one too. I'm not gonna activate the other one, which means they're wanting to play something after combat. Yep. We're just gonna keep holding this up. I don't think they're playing Thoughtseize or anything like that, but We're just gonna let them, excuse me, do whatever they're doing here. Um, Now we're gonna start cycling things. Storm's Wrath is also really good. Forgot we brought that one in, if I'm being entirely honest. I don't think they play discard effects, but we're trying to play it a little safe and play around discard here. We'd really like to just hit like another cycling card right here. Drawing a land's not great. Drawing another land is not great at all. Let's see if they block. They do. Okay. Yep. We're gonna play this tapped. We're gonna play Storm's Wrath here. See what they do. Our Zenith Flare is only three cycling cards away from. What do they discard? Skyclave Apparition. We're only three cards away here from being able to actually kill them. They can animate both Blink Moth Nexuses here and attack for 2 and put us to 11. Mystic Forge. I gotta read this one. You may cast. What did they exile? A Blink Moth Nexus? You may cat. God dang it. You may cast artifacts, spells, and colorless spells from the top of your library. Pay 1 life, exile the top card of your library. Alright, well, we haven't drawn anything we can cycle, which is like very low probability here, but we're gonna keep holding this either until we have to play it or until we feel like it's gonna give us the win here. Karn off the top is really good for them. If they have something they can play here, they can play it, and if not, they can plus. Play a 3/3. Okay. They can minus. Yeah, make another 3/3. Um, that is not what I wanted to do. God, I hate Arena with everything inside of me. So stupid. Yep. Yep. This is a lot of damage. I really wish we could take this here. I mean, yeah, this is great, but we still need to cycle into something we can play with here, to something we can block with. So, yeah, we have to keep cycling here. Good news is that if we keep drawing cyclers, we have. Oh, that's so disappointing. It's back-to-back games we've lost. We should be 1 card deeper there. I mean, it's just really disappointing to lose games that way. It's 2 really close games we've lost like that. Play first. This hand's great. We'll keep this hand. We're going to lead on Pathway here. Like that. I like our opponent's art sleeve thing. That, like, ferret otter looking thing. I don't really know what it is, but it looks kind of cool. Play our Flourishing Fox. Next turn we'll play our Valiant Rescuer. Valiant Rescuer is such a good card. Imagine how dumb it would be if it said each time you cycled and not just the first time. Man, that would be crazy. A Fatal Push or a Thoughtseize here. Oh, it's Red Black Cat. Alright. Hopefully they don't have another Claim the Firstborn. Pay however you want. We have both colors here. Cycle this. I almost did that again. We get to crash in for 4 here. Wish we would have had our Valiant Rescuer there. We really need them to not have another Claim the Firstborn here. Priest is okay. We're going to attack. We're going to play our Chandra. We're going to minus on the Priest here. This is going to be a really good matchup for Grafdigger's Cage and Devout Decree. We have a Flourishing Fox and a Chandra on the field as opposed to their Witch's Oven and a couple of food tokens. This feels like we're in a pretty good spot here. Been wrong before, though. What'd you say? I said food tokens. Yeah. Dreadhorde Butcher's not a bad draw. I was like, there's not, or a bad card. There's not many things in their deck that have haste. So. Okay. Cycle Zenith Flare. Or Cycle Cast Out, I mean. Attack for 5 here. Say go. We're going to Zenith Flare and then untap Zenith Flare. Okay. I really like playing this deck because it's really not, it's really like a, I really like to look at this. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't play my card because I'm so bad. Oh, I'm so dumb. I didn't realize they were passing. So they're going to block. Village Rites, okay. Sure. Hit me for 2, draw a couple cards. Village Rites is a really good card. Really like that card. And we're going to say go here. Game should have already been over, but I'm bad, and I misclicked through my turn. Probably help if I was paying more attention. Yeah, sure. Say go, do this in response. Any cycling card pretty much finishes the game off here. Secluded Step is really good. You're adding to our Zenith Flare, plus you're dealing them damage off the Drain a Stinger, so if they sack in response to anything, we can just flare them in response. So this is really just cycling burn is really all this deck is. That's why I like it so much. Yeah, sure. 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 I sadly wish this was enough to kill them. We're going to play this. And then we're going to say go. Because if they bring their cat back, we get to do this and kill them. But if they do it, if we wait, they actually get to bring it back twice and gain 2 life, and they get to stay at 1 this way. Alright. Creatures coming into play don't matter. Devout Decree. Stormwrath, Clarion. Cage. Wow, okay, we have a lot of cards here. Maybe this is too many cards. Maybe we don't want all of these cards. Let's bring in like a Devout Decree. Let's bring in 2 cages. Cut a couple of these. Cut a couple of these. Cut a couple cast outs and try this. We're cutting a lot of our cycling cards, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it doesn't seem that bad. This hand seems pretty good. We'll keep this. We have a sideboard card. Thoughtseize. What would you like? They're either taking the Devout Decree or they're taking the Rescuer. Because Traineth Healers, whatever. Or maybe, I was like, or maybe. Yeah, we're going to play the Fox. Hopefully we draw a land here. 22 lands in our deck. Pretty high chance we draw a land here. Thinking. Okay. Okay. I don't really understand why our opponent said thinking, but whatever makes them happy, I guess. Yeah, I mean, our Fox isn't going to be great here, just because they can kind of just infinitely block and just gain life and do things here, so maybe the Fox isn't something we want in this matchup. Mayhem Devil. Death, no good. So we're going to Devout Decree the shit out of that thing. Devout Decree. We'd like to see a white source on top, honestly. They get to put us to 17 here. Maybe we should be running some Magma Sprays in our sideboard. I don't know. It feels a little aggressive. We don't want a Flameblade Adept. I know that much. Put that on the bottom. Play our Flameblade Adept and say go. This next like turn or two here will really tell us how this game's gonna go. All right. I mean, I imagine they're gonna sack our Flameblade Adept here. Ooh, to Village Rites. That's really good. Claiming the Firstborn and Village Rites in the same deck is just really dumb. We're going to go ahead and cycle here just in case we draw a land. Second Zenith Flare is really good. They get to do some pretty dumb cat stuff here, but hopefully our healer keeps us in the game here. Fatal Push is pretty good. Third Witch's Oven, also pretty dumb. Play our healer, and then we're going to play our cage. Cage is a good pickup there. Now we just need to hit an untapped land. So now they're gonna do this a bunch of times here. I think when this is all said and done with, we'll end at 10. If I'm not crazy. We go to 12. We go to 11. And then off the last one, we go to 10 here. And then our cage resolves, and they have a cat in play and one card in hand. Priest is pretty good. Cat's also pretty good. Land, please. Or another Zenith Flare. We really would have liked to have hit a land there. Woe Strider, okay. Yep. Cast a cat. Thought we had to discard a card for some reason. I don't really think there's a... What does this do? Sacrifice. Add 2 black mana and draw a card. So it's a way for them to draw a card. Zenith Flare is really good. It's not going to be able to win us the game, it doesn't feel like, from here, but it is going to keep us in the game. Yep. Sure. We're going to Zenith Flare the Woe Strider here. Which actually just kills us. Did I just die? Yeah, because now they activate Priest and we lose 2 life. Yep, okay. That was a misplay on my part. Misplay on my part. I guess we want to bring in these and cut our foxes. The fox doesn't really do anything. It's a bad attacker. It's a bad blocker against the cat. This hand feels pretty good. We'll keep this. I got some good cards here, some cycling stuff, some aggression, a sweeper to pick up if we need help. So this hand feels okay. We'll lead on Mountain Flameblade Adept here. Cat, okay. I'd rather have the Stinger in play, I think, because if they kill that one, it's okay. I am okay with losing that one. So next turn we can play the healer and we can shock in our Foundry, cycle the Forgotten Cave, and we're looking at a pretty okay turn. We actually don't even have to shock in here. We can just do it this way. So now we're draining and gaining every time we're doing anything, which feels really good. I don't know why I keep doing that in the wrong order. Hopefully there's no Fatal Push in our future. Drawing a land that doesn't cycle isn't great. That's our 5th land. Kind of the downfall we take with... Gonna Village Rights the cat away. So I guess what it sounds like. Take 2, go to 14. Their hand must not be very good. Gonna be honest, we really just want anything that cycles here. Being able to drain and gain every time we cycle a card is really good. Yeah, no blocks, buddy. You have another village rights. Yep. So they're drawing a lot of cards here. Play a blood crit tapped. Drawing another non-cycling card is not what we wanted to see here. We are putting on quite a bit of pressure, though. We have a sweeper backup. They're already at 11. I mean, pretty much anything that cycles just allows us to get rolling here. What is this thingy? Man. Let's start cycling. God, mother, bless. I do that every time. That is like literally the most annoying thing in the entire world. Fatal push, our Flameblade Adept. We'll say go. Hopefully there's no Thoughtseize here or anything like that. Mayhem Devil number 2. No blocks. We'll probably just take our Deafening Clarion here. Yeah, now we're definitely going to take our Deafening Clarion here. Play our Draenith Healer here. Just try and keep some cards on the field. We want to keep pressure on the field, and we want to keep a way to gain some life. The race is pretty close here, so... Removal spell inbound. Okay. Don't know why I didn't play it during your turn. We're really trying to find a Zenith Flare here. There's 4 in the deck. Yeah, 4 Zenith Flares in the deck. I think we're really just trying to cycle here, draw some cards. I'm okay with playing the cast out here to get rid of the Woe Strider. Probably sack the goat in response to try one. Scry to the bottom is good for us. We'd really just like to peel a Zenith Flare off the top at any point here and just try to find something to do here. Ask and you shall receive. We will hold this up. Maybe we draw a couple cycling cards and we can make something happen. That is my favorite mountain in the game. They're going to Thoughtseize us. We'll play it now. They take 9. They die to Thoughtseize. Lego. Alright. Well, we're 1 and 2 with our pile of cards. Probably play one more game, maybe 2, and more than likely 1. The deck has felt good. It's felt like a lot of the games we've lost. Maybe we haven't lost because of this, but it feels like I've been playing the cycling lands instead of cycling them on accident every time. I've done it on accident every time, but still it feels like that has cost us games. I don't think we can keep this hand. We have too many 4-drops and no red mana, so I know we get to cycle and see a lot of cards here, but I think this is a mulligan. Our opponent can't decide what they're doing. They mulligan. We're gonna join them. This hand's a lot better. We're going to keep this and put a secluded step back. Yeah. Okay. We'll lead on Fox, and then we'll play Valiant Rescuer here. Oh, maybe we wanted that other land. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we get to see so many cards here that this is like this is one of my favorite decks in the whole world to put a land back with, just because we see so many cards. Like generally, drawing a fourth land is not a problem. Feels like they have a removal spell here. We're just gonna go ahead and run out the healer so they can kill it. And then hopefully next turn we'll draw an untapped land so we can play Rescuer and cycle the Cave. Yep, Bonecrusher Giant here. Is this the Jund deck we just played against earlier that we lost to? They don't have a land. We're going to play this and say go, cycle the Cave when they try to kill it. Make a token here. Drawing that land is really good because if they untap and slam a Bonecrusher Giant, we can minus with the Chandra. Hopefully they just miss lands for like a few more turns and we just get to run away with the game here. Valky. Okay, take our Draenith Healer. That's fine. I'm definitely just going to play Chandra. We're going to plus to deal damage here. Yep, so Chandra's good for some damage there. You and Wally not playing together? I gotcha. We're gonna start by plussing to reveal here. Auto pay. Probably shouldn't auto pay. Valiant Rescuer is a good card. We're just gonna put this into play here. Hopefully we can start making a streamline of tokens here to block with. If he attacks with both at our Chandra, we're gonna let Valky hit, and then we're going to throw our 1/1 human. Oh, it's Grixis. Okay. Oh, I bet he's playing the Grixis combo deck. Fatal push that. Okay. Yep, definitely going to block there. Oh, Lord. I'm tired. Having Chandra in play is just really good. Hopefully this isn't that 3-mana card. Yep. Cast Tibalt. Destroy our Chandra. Just kidding. We could just go for the win here, which is extremely aggressive, but we're going to do it anyway. Deal damage. Cycle Footfall Crater. Cycle Draenith Healer. Cycle Forgotten Cave. Play Sacred Foundry tapped. Cry a little bit because we didn't draw what we wanted here. So our hand's been not bad here. This Grixis combo deck is kind of annoying. Need to figure out how to stop. Okay. 9 cards, all of which have cycling. Chandra goes to 1. Is he going to play our Drainastinger? Nope. Oh, he's going to foretell a counterspell here, I bet. Exile an extra card. Hopefully it wasn't a counterspell. Damn it. That was our out there, was to draw into that, so that kind of sucks. Kind of surprised that they're playing, and he steals a Zenith Flare. Damn, that's rough. Luckily, he has no cycling cards in his graveyard. Oh, so there's 2 left in the deck. We have 35 cards to go. The odds of us finding one soon are not very likely, but I'm interested that he's playing saw it coming, or whatever that card's called. Okay, kill our Chandra. We're gonna hope to draw into a Zenith Flare here, because if not, it's gonna be kind of a rough one. I think casting this and exiling the Tybalt here is really good. They can still play those cards there, but Goblin Lore off the top? Yeah, right, I wish, man, that'd be sweet. Goblin Lore actually doesn't seem like a bad card in this format. Man, unless he's gonna like tap down to play the Drainastinger here, which it appears he's gonna do. It was like he really can't attack with his giant either. We're gonna serve up 1 here. I don't really know why he left that back. I don't know if he realizes that this thing has menace. He's gonna flash in a blocker here, maybe. He did not. He just realized that that didn't have that. I'm gonna leave this in our hand in case he's playing Thoughtseize and he feels this unnecessary need to Thoughtseize me. Oh Lord. Eliminate's pretty good, and now he has a 2-turn clock on the field. Play the Drainastinger. Yep. Oh, Zenith Flare 1 time. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, we were kind of destined to draw some lands there, but still sucks. Okay, so Devout Decree and Chandra. Go for blood does not seem great. We'll try it like this. Chandra seems great in this matchup. Have to imagine that our opponent's playing some kind of sweepers in his board here, like Languish, Ritual of Soot, Shadow's Verdict, something like that. If not, I mean, I don't know why he's not. As the Bears make Nagy Ryan era faces immense pressure. Something about Andy Dalton in the sports world. Our opponent's deciding what they want here against the old cycling deck. Kind of wish Arena had a different economy so that I could buy cards. I'd really like to play Jeskai Control in this format, just to goof off with. But I think the closest I'll get to doing that is just playing Jeskai Flash or something along those lines with cards I already own. I don't really have I don't own Wrath of God, so that's kind of a rough one. I mean, that's 4 rare wild cards just off the top. Watching the wild card system is just really stupid. Like I don't know anybody that speaks highly of it. Like actual no one. Not pro Magic players, not anybody I know that plays the game. I know nobody that speaks highly of it. So I happen to think it's the stupidest thing that ever happened. We're just gonna play our Sacred Foundry tapped and not cycle anything here on turn 1, just so we can hold up in case they thought sees one of our threats away, or in case they have a removal spell, we can play another one of our threats here. What you doing, Tyrion? Come here. Tyrion. Come here, sweet kitty. I think our opponent's deciding whether they want a mulligan or not. Opponent takes a mulligan, it appears. Leyline of the Void. Okay. We're just gonna kind of have to hope we can play around it here. Right at our Drannith Healer here, and the next turn we'll play the white side of the pathway, and then we'll play Drannith Stinger. No, we won't, because they're gonna take our Drannith Stinger. We're definitely just gonna go ahead and Devout Decree that. Especially drawing another one. See what we can scry into. Get our Stinger back. Leave the Fox on top. That's a really good draw. We can cycle the Secluded Step here. We're going to play the Stinger they know about. I think you can actually play either one, and it allows you to have whichever one you feel like it shows them both, I think. Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. So we're going to cycle the Fox here. Hopefully we draw into like a land we can discard or something like that. Not really sure. Definitely going to discard the Cast Out. Put that on the bottom. Hopefully we find a land here. Any land will do. That's also not bad. The only thing we really didn't want to draw there was another Chandra, if I'm being honest. So let's start here. Ping you. Gain 1. Cast Out's a pretty good one to leave in the back pocket here. We're just going to attack for 4. As long as it remains exiled, its owner may cast it without paying its mana cost. We're actually going to cycle this here in response to get another point off of this. Yep. We get to cast this without paying its mana cost, which is really good. We get to play this, and we get to say go. So we're in a pretty good spot here. We have Chandra if we need it. Our what? What in the flying hell are y'all talking about over there? All right. I think we're gonna leave it the way it is. I think we'll cut a couple of these and bring in a couple Gopher Bloods to help cycle through the deck a little bit more. Actually, you know what we might want to do? Bring in a couple Shredded Cells just to try and help. Um, Either kill Bolas or or it's honestly it's a great card because it cycles and it deals with Bolas here. Maybe they're playing some kind of artifact we feel the need to deal with. I don't really know. It's hard to tell. Our hand's great. We're gonna keep this. Opponent keeps 7. Blood Crypt. Play Flameblade Adept. Say go. Flameblade Adept allows us to have some pretty explosive draws if it turns out that way. So gonna attack for 1 here and see what they do. We're gonna play our Draenith Healer and say go. We have pretty solid leftovers here, so Brazen Borrow our Flameblade Adept back to our hand, which is fine. Foretell something. Actually gonna go ahead and cycle the cast out here. Balak, cheered 100 bits. Hey Caleb, thanks for the cheer, man. I appreciate it. How's the day been? It's not been too bad. I've been working from home the last couple days. I'm waiting on my COVID test to come back. I think it's possible that I'm positive for it, so it's not been too bad. How about you, man? I ain't talked to you in a week or two. What have you been up to, man? Oh. So I think this hand's pretty reasonable. We're gonna play the Fox here, and then we're gonna cycle the Rescuer, and then we can play the Forgotten Cave so that we can have Chandra the following turn. Give the Fox a counter, hidden for 2 here. We're a little behind on the curve here, but another Fatal Push is annoying. What is that, their second removal spell here? Play that and say go. We can have Chandra here, which is pretty good. Nicol Bolas is fine. We're going to discard Draenith Healer. We're going to minus here. Then we're going to attack. Been missing land drops. Not much. Just playing Rocket League, honestly. Was thinking about going to Modern next Monday just to grab another Valakut. Oh, you need a Valakut for Titan? Like the Dryad Titan kind of thing? I haven't been to Modern in a little bit. I'd actually kind of like to go to Modern, honestly. It's been a minute or two. We're going to plus here. Our opponent played a land and said go. Um, yeah, we might as well cast this here. And then we'll attack. We'll cycle the Fox, and then we'll play Flameblade Adept after combat. Actually, might be some reason to hold on to the Flameblade Adept here. Yeah, I'm actually going to hold on to it. We're playing around a sweeper this way so that we can have something to rebuild with if we need it. Yep, got to replace that Field of the Dead with something. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I know Field of the Dead didn't help you in any way, man, but I was very happy to see Field of the Dead go. It's a card I'm not really a fan of. That and Teferi, well, that and Teferi and Pioneer and stuff like that. So, but Valakut's really good and with the Dryad and stuff like that. Do you say something? So this turns out pretty well. We can play our Chandra, deal them 2 more damage. I was like, hopefully we don't hit like a Zenith Flare there. There's only a couple in our deck that are left. So, and we're kind of deep into our deck here. It's like, okay. We're gonna run out our rescuer here. Coming back. I'm glad to see Mystic Sanctuary's gone. Yeah, the Cryptic Loop was honestly like super dumb, man. Like I was not a fan of that in any way. It was very stupid and it made life very miserable for basically everybody. So, yeah, I feel you there. I was actually pretty happy about that one myself. We're gonna say go. We'll cycle the Fox during their turn to get another token out of this. And if they play like a Shadow's Verdict or something here, we can, even the people looping it were bored. Yeah, I mean, so like there's an up and a downside to that because I know a lot of people who will play decks that they don't necessarily like. Um, we're gonna cycle this in response here so that we can get extra cards out of it. If we draw another cycler here, we'll also cycle in response. Okay. Um, a lot of people will play decks like that just because they win. Like when they go to a tournament or something, like people will play decks because they're like, you know what? Like I know this wins. Like there's no reason for me not to play this. And I'm like, like honestly, I completely agree with you. You're completely right. So yeah, I know that feeling. Also know how frustrating it is to play against decks that are miserable like that just because people want to win. So I mean, it's the good with the bad kind of thing. The gate's pretty good there. Play our land tapped and say go. They have to have a sweeper here of some kind, and even if they do have a sweeper, they have to have a counterspell to follow it up with to stop our Zenith Flare. So, again, feels like we're in a pretty good spot here. Um, we're going to attack here because they have to be able to beat our attackers, and they can't. Okay, interesting to not. Yeah, Titan isn't great, but I like having the toolbox of lands and a goal. I feel like I'm working towards something. Yeah, I mean Titan's sweet. Like don't get me wrong. Like Primeval Titan has beat me a lot playing Magic just as a burn player. But I do like Primeval Titan, and like you get a lot of like I like that you called it like a toolbox because it's what it is. Like you get so many options for like what you can be playing, like you can get your Bazooka Bog, like you have Radiant Fountain against aggro decks, you have Colony Guard when you need to block with something. Like it's really like it's actually really great. With control, I felt like I just looked at my hand and said, "What do I do?" Yeah, like the fact that like The one thing that you had against them was that most of the time you could just like filter them out of the game, and that's probably why they banned it, because they felt like Field of the Dead Primeval Titan would take over without Mystic Sanctuary in the format. So it's hard to tell, but oh. All right, well, we've been playing Magic for quite a while here. It's almost 10 o'clock. We're going to take like a 5-10 minute break here, and then when we come back, we're going to play some Cold War. We're trying to level up, and we're working on getting gold for our LMGs. So there's going to be a lot of me running the M60 or whatever that submachine gun is. So thanks for hanging out tonight. We'll be back in a few minutes.